our next speaker, who is Dr. Andrea Green-Koettker, a biologist with a PhD in biological oceanography, and who dedicated her life to study marine invertebrate larvae since 2016, and is part of the Veleiro ECO team as well. So please, Andrea, the floor is yours.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Presentation. Is that all right? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, we can see. Thank you.
Okay. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. First, I would like to thank you, Ana Vitória, for the opportunity to present today. It's a pleasure to talk about an outreach action where each volunteer who contributed to its realization did it aiming the health of the ocean and the environment. In 2018, we were invited, the Veleiro ECO team, to set up a 40 meter square booth in Volvo Ocean Race stopover here in Brazil, where we would receive school groups and local population to talk about ocean literacy. For those who don't know, all Volvo Ocean Race stopovers around the world involves the construction of an entire regatta village with restaurants, boat booths, and many attractions. So we had an empty space of 40 meter squares. That's quite a lot. And don't get me wrong, we were very glad about it, but it's a big place to fill up. And at that time, we only had few outreach materials. We did have, however, lots of ideas concerning the messages we would like to communicate and discuss. People really excited to participate and contribute to the event. And as always, a very tight budget. Well, I don't have time to explain you now how we overcome this, but we did it and the result was beautiful. We managed to build an educational, colorful, and dynamic booth with playful and self-explanatory panels, which facilitate the communication with the public. So during 17 days of event, we received 40 school groups, totaling about 1,000 students aged between 6 and 12 years old, and an even greater number of residents and tourists. To meet this huge demand, and it was really intense, we had the kind participation of 30 volunteers among students and professors from UFSC and a local university. The booth was divided into sectors, and at the end, we realized that it was a great strategy. We could talk about Veleiro ECO and marine research, plankton and microplastics. And we also had a panel showing how a food chain can be contaminated by microplastics and plastisphere. We had interactive modules of litter impact on animals, an infographic showing how garbage reaches the ocean, an exhibition of garbage collecting our coast, and a panel with several examples of what each citizen can do to change this sad reality, emphasizing that we are all responsible for the ocean health and that small behavior changes in our daily lives can in fact generate big and positive transformations. So school groups were welcome together and then divided into smaller groups that would take turns. And it worked very well. The only problem was that everyone wanted to get right away on the microscopes. For most, this was the first opportunity and maybe the only one to get to know a microscope and also marine plankton organisms. For one afternoon, Veleiro ECO docked in the village and was open to visitation, when approximately 500 people could go on board. This is an image of our next event in the same year, but I think it's important to show you that all Volvo structure, the panels, interactive models, and so on, could be reused in many other outreach events. On my last slide, I leave some examples of Brazilian projects, institutions, and initiatives working with ocean literacy. Many of them focus on charismatic species, such as dolphins and whales, which is great because they really get attention, but none on marine microbiome, despite its huge importance. However, I'm sure that with the AtlantEO team and partners, we can change this scenario very soon. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Andrea. It seems a very interesting project, and to see the kids getting in touch with the topic, it's very inspiring.